All right, welcome back, guys, to Running with the Wolves. I'm Dustin, and as you guys can see, Christian's not here, but I'm here with Chase Rivera of Bolles High School, the newly appointed team state champion in Florida's death class of 2A, if you
Yeah,
will. So good to have you here, Chase.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. All right, so right into it to the first question. What does it feel like to have won a state championship after Trinity Prep's won it so many years in a row, 4 years in a row now?
Well, it feels pretty amazing. I mean, if you look at not necessarily our state championship, but just our area in North Florida, we a few years ago knocked Bishop Kenny off the individual races
Mm-hmm.
as champions, and we kind of started showing our worth, proving our worth. And then last year we had a little upset with winning for about 10 minutes, and they
Yeah.
recalculated the score, and we ended up getting second. But after this year, I mean, we've really been working for it. I want to say we deserved it. So
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
felt we all felt like it was coming at some point, and it just feels great.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what is it like to be training there? What is you guys' like staple training over there for cross country season, I guess at least?
Um, so we start the week with Sunday long run.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Typically 10 miles for the veterans, like juniors and seniors. But if we have high set CIs, I'll explain that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
We cut down the long run, and then Monday we have a workout. Monday and Wednesday are workout days. We either have high set or low set consistent intervals
Mm-hmm.
on Monday. So we'll do 400s, low sets 10, high sets, actually low sets 12, high set is 14,
Mm-hmm.
and with 3 minutes rest in between each one.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tuesday and Thursday we have morning practice. So we run for 30 minutes, we go in the pool for 30 minutes, and then on Tuesdays we do some weightlifting for 30, and then
Mm-hmm.
on Thursdays we do yoga for 30 rather than weightlifting.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday we have 3 race runs, so 5 miles, pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday we race, and then we end off. We do an hour total of running for the day, so 15-minute warm up, about 15, 16-minute race for most of us, and
Mm-hmm.
then whatever time left, finish off.
Yeah, for sure. And then I guess start over on Sunday. So
Yeah.
you said something about high set CIs for long runs where you cut down. What does that
Yeah.
work out like for you?
The high set CIs, I mean, we do, like I said, I think it's 14 400s, and we run them at, my pace is 73 seconds
Mm-hmm.
for the 400 and 3 minutes rest. So after four, which we consider kind of like a set,
Yeah.
um, we do a double rest, so we'll have 6 minutes rather than three.
Yeah.
And then it's all based on race pace. So I think Charles is the fastest time. He has 70-second 400s, and our
Mm-hmm.
slowest guy from the top seven, I think, has 78.
Mm-hmm.
And then because it's high set, with warm up and cool down, it totals about 12 miles for us, and that's why we cut down the long run.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now I guess training does start the summer. So what does the summer look like for you guys training?
Well, we try to get off of the Bolles San Jose area as
Mm-hmm.
much as we can. So same thing, long run, and then long run on Sundays. And then we don't really do many workouts, but every once in a while we will. We'll have our most famous hard workout of the year of the summer is called the Bear, where we
Mm-hmm.
do 5 miles at about 6:30, between 6 and 6:30 pace. Then 4 miles. Actually, no, not 5 miles. We start with four. Then 3 miles at about 30 seconds faster, which is supposed to be around race pace.
Yeah.
Or no, threshold pace. Then 2 miles at race pace and 1 mile all out. But that's more towards the end of the summer. We only do that once per year.
Yeah.
Um, but then we average for me and Charles, the juniors and seniors, we average about 60 miles per week over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it varies. We'll like at the beginning of the summer, we'll kind of build up to 60, so we'll do maybe 40 for a week, a few weeks of 50, then 60, and we'll max out at 70 for a few, drop down, and kind of go wavy from there
Yeah.
around 60. We do Mondays and Wednesdays are the same thing, workout days, but it's more of a tempo run.
Yeah.
Where we'll have long tempo and short tempo varying on the weeks, and that's 6 miles compared to 3, I think.
Yeah.
And then Friday we run at the bridges in downtown Jacksonville. So we do this loop where it totals about 6 miles, and we do a progression run. So each mile we get a few seconds faster, maybe 20 seconds faster per mile.
Mm-hmm.
And then the days in between, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Saturdays as well, we just do an easy run, recovery run from workout or progression.
All right. So now to talk a little bit about track. I know you yourself, I'm sure, like track a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes. Quite a bit of a miler. So talk about track versus cross country. What you like about each more so than the other.
Well, for track, I really like the atmosphere in terms of there's people around you at every moment of the race cheering and yelling, and it really kind of gets you motivated. As opposed to cross country where you might have lapses of a half mile where you don't see anybody except the racers around you. And not that that's bad. It's actually really fun being isolated kind of, but at the same time, you need that motivation, and that comes when you pass the people, and the fans will be there, but I feel like you got that more in track, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I really like the speed of track.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's faster, shorter distances, and I think that's my strong suit, in my opinion. And I'm more of an 800-mile guy, and so I like the speed. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, favorite track race?
Ooh, one that I've done or like event?
Both. Whichever you want to answer first.
Okay. Event, I would say the mile, because I mean everyone knows the 800 is just misery for 2 laps. But the mile, it's a mix, I would say, between speed and distance, because you've still got fast times, but it's over a longer distance, so you're not killing yourself every single lap. Favorite race I've done? I would say the mile at last year's state meet, because for me that was a test. I ran against Caleb Podorf, and I mean he had a killer time.
Yeah.
He PR'd that season with I think 4:10 or 4:12.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I want to hang with him. And I gave it my all for 3 laps, and then choked in the wind on the last lap, and my legs gave out. And so I went from him and I were about 75 meters in front of everyone else. And I went from that point to, I think I ended up getting 5th. So in terms of how I did, it wasn't the best, but experience, it was pretty great.
Yeah, for sure. And so you guys are going to Nike Cross Regionals next Saturday, correct?
Yes.
As a team? So now what's the goal for that as a team? Is it obviously the ultimate goal would be to make it, but if not to make it, what is everything looking like?
I would say our goal is just to see how we do, because in terms of bowls, I think we are the first team ever in the history of bowls to even be good enough to attempt Nike regionals or nationals. And so it's really an experience for us, because I mean, just winning state, building up our team for the last 4 or 5 years with my dad as the coach. We want to see how we do, because we ran Great American, and I think we got 7th in the race and 5th in our region. But we've improved since that, I think October 17th it was, since that point of the season,
Mm-hmm.
and we have heard that there is a very likely chance that a wild card will come from our region
Mm-hmm.
to go. So not just the top two, but maybe a third,
Mm-hmm.
and that's our goal.
Oh, to get the wild card.
Yeah.
All right. So I know you guys raced out of state most of this season, 3 times, right?
Yes.
What was it like to get outside of Florida for a year and really not have to worry about competition in Florida, but rather somewhere outside of where you're competing for a state title?
It was actually very fun. I mean, a
Mm-hmm.
great experience for us because last year we tried to do the Manhattan Invitational,
Yeah.
which we did end up doing this year, but that got canceled by hurricane, and that wasn't very fun.
Yeah.
And we never even that was our only out of state performance that we tried to get, and
Yeah.
it didn't happen. But this year, I think with our team being as developed as we are at this point, it was good exposure to what America has to offer in terms
Yeah.
of running. And some guys going into college, they got to see um, the caliber of runners from around the nation, and they even got to do some college
Yeah.
tours. But running out there as opposed to here was a lot different. I mean, typically better weather, um, some nice courses, and just getting a different feel for what other teams are out there
Yeah.
because it kind of gets repetitive running against the same guys every weekend.
Yeah, for sure. So now with that, what's your favorite race you guys ran this season, this cross season outside of the state?
I would say the Manhattan Invitational,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I'm speaking on behalf of most of the team, but I think they'd agree
Mm-hmm.
um, because it wasn't a 5K, it was a 4K,
Yeah.
so it wasn't our typical race distance,
Yeah.
and it was on a very nice course with a lot of hills
Yeah.
um, and very nice weather. And we went into that with no hopes whatsoever. We didn't want to necessarily win the race because we knew there were a lot of good teams, and we didn't know how we were going to do because it was a 4K as opposed to a 5K.
Yeah.
So we just kind of had fun, and we had no fears or hopes going into it.
Yeah, for sure. So now, looking forward to next week at Nike Regional, I know we talked about the team. Do you have a goal, like a time in mind or anything? I know the course is pretty tough over there in Nashville, but
Yeah. Um, Personally, I would love for a PR. I'm hoping for one.
yeah.
Um, right now, my PR is 15:47, which I ran at the beginning of the season at
Hmm.
Spikes and Spurs, and I haven't gotten that time or necessarily near that time the rest of the season.
Hmm.
But I feel like, as most of us are, last last year and great season. And biggest love was so it's late on the season.
Hmm. All right, so it actually caught none of that because the connection just went like whack for a second.
I saw that, so I didn't know if I should keep talking or not. But
Oh yeah, go ahead. Just say whatever again, and I'll edit it out.
okay, yeah. So I'm hoping for a PR,
Hmm.
because my PR is 15:47,
Hmm.
and I think I'm the most fit at this point in the season. Um, and with experience, I would say, in mind, because we ran a Great American earlier this season,
Hmm.
I'm hoping to run a smarter race because I went out with the main pack the first time we ran there,
Yeah.
and that first mile, I think it was in the 4:30s, which
Yeah.
on a downhill first mile, that's not too terribly fast, but it's a little too fast for
Yeah.
me in a 5K race. And so I want to run a smarter race, get a better time. Um, so yeah, I'm hoping for a PR.
All right. So, what are you looking for in track season this year? each event, goals, placing, time wise, whatever, either way.
Um, this track season, I'm hoping for obviously some PRs, but um, more specifically in the mile, I've
Mm-hmm.
had the school record since freshman year, but I haven't improved my time since then.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've been on the cusp every race. I've been pretty consistent around 420
Yeah.
ish, and so I want to get a better time. Um, the 800, I'm at 156 right now,
Mm-hmm.
and the school record is 155, mid 155s. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to get that. I was actually talking earlier this year with the guy who has the school record, and he was like, "Yeah, come on, beat it. I want to see my time go down." So,
Yeah.
um, our team has been trying for the 4x8 school record
Yeah.
for the last 2 years. I believe it's 7:59, and our closest time was 8:03.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and last year we graduated one guy, but filled him with another, filled
Yeah.
his place with another. So I think we're hoping for that this year.
Yeah.
And then hopefully I can drop my 2 mile time
Yeah.
because right now we're 3,200 because I think I'm at 9:36 right
Mm-hmm.
now, I believe. And I mean, I've only run 1 2 mile each year,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of a matter of how fit am I. And it's also been we have this week, the Bulldog Classic,
Yeah.
and I run the 2 mile as my fourth event, and it's the last event of my day. So
Yeah. So.
I'm trying to run a fresh 2 mile this year and just see how I do.
Yeah, because well, if you're running 4 events, you're probably running an 800, then a 2 mile right after. Then, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm
So
guessing
I
they
think
don't.
I ran the 400, 800, or 400 mile, 800, 2 mile,
Well,
and that was my last event. So I'm hoping for just a solo 2 mile one time.
yeah. So,
Um, yeah.
what did you run at 400 then? That's what I'm curious as to.
My time right now is 52.8, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And we have one guy on the team, not a distance runner, but a sprinter, who's 52.5, and he tore his ACL last year. So I kind of became the fastest 400 runner on the 4x4
Yeah.
because we don't have much of a guys sprinter program at the moment.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping he's back so we can have a decent 4x4 this year.
Okay, so you're gonna run the 4x. Are you gonna try to run the 4x4 at state then, if you can make it there?
Probably not at state, but it depends. Right now, my main state events, so I do the 800 mile and then 4x8.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that spot. I'm not going for the 2 mile at state because we have other guys on the team that that's either their main or one of two events for them.
Yeah.
So we always let them take the 2 mile. And so if we decide to do a fourth event for me, it would be probably the 4x4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it like to, obviously you're a little bit more an 800-mile guy, and Charles is more of a 2 mile or 5K guy, more so than anyone on the team. What is it like to duke it out during a speed workout with Charles during track season, with you having the speed and him having the strength?
It's really fun, actually, because our 400s in cross country season, when we do CIs,
Yeah.
he's got the faster time and that endurance because
Yeah.
on the 3 minute break, he keeps a fast pace and I kind of slow it down a little.
Yeah.
So he's always in front of me there. But then, and we even started doing some really fast workouts at the end of the season this year.
Yeah.
Where we have 4 500s and 12 minutes in between each one, but we have to go as fast as we can, all out. And that's where my strong suit comes.
Yeah.
And so the first one, now I didn't run this very tactically, but I went 67 for the 5, and he went 73, but he held 73s the whole time, and I went like 67, 75, 71, and then close to 80. So I was kind of all over the place. But then in terms of track, we do 400s with they're obviously a faster pace. It's based on mile time, and we'll have to run 59 or 59s, and a few times it it's like I'm actually leading the pack this time
Yeah.
with the speed, and he's right on my tail. He's still got the speed, but
Yeah.
it's I feel more strong on the team in track.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. So, have you started looking at any colleges yet? Now it's your junior year. Have you started considering anywhere? I'm sure you've received letters, if
Yeah.
you will.
So I have not, and I will not for a little while make any decisions in
Yeah.
terms of where,
Yeah,
just
for
because I'm
sure.
very open for what's to come. I've still got plenty of time, but I have kept my eye out for a few, including the Naval Academy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested there with one of our seniors, John Bowers, is also he's applying there now,
Yeah.
hoping to get in and run there. So if I went there, I'd be running with him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I feel like every runner has to apply to set their hopes for Stanford.
Yeah.
Um, um, and so that's up there. But then I've kept my eye out for some colleges near where a lot of my relatives are. And
Mm-hmm.
so my uncle ran at Wisconsin, so
Yeah.
that's an option for me. Uh, my dad went to Notre Dame for a year, so I have that up there. That's always kind of been in our family.
Yeah.
And then even, I mean, at this point is where I start keeping my eyes open.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
have a preference. Whoever comes and talks to me, I will
Consider, yeah.
eagerly respond and find out more info.
Yeah, for sure. So are you going to look with teammates maybe and see if teammates can go to the same place as you, or are you going to consider individually, do you think?
That's definitely a factor, teammates, because I think it'd be the best thing in the world if I could continue running with Charles
Yeah.
in college. So that's a factor, and like I said, John Bowers, one of our seniors, is going or hoping to go to the Navy. And I think that would be great. Um, we have two others applying to Dartmouth, and they're
Mm-hmm.
hoping to get in there. And running there would be really cool, and being with them. So at the moment, I would say I'm following more and wherever my teammates go.
Yeah.
Those are my highest options right now.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know how that will change in the future.
Yeah. So what's it like in a team atmosphere for you guys? The night before races and stuff, do you guys goof around, have a pasta party, whatever?
So I feel like this is more relative in the postseason, but we order like either Olive Garden or Carrabba's for pasta.
Yeah.
So we have a pasta party. Even during the regular season, we have dinners, but it's not as official. It's just kind of we'll
Yeah.
find a place once we get to the meet.
Yeah.
And up until dinner, because we usually take about like if we have a race on Saturday, we'll maybe take Friday off of school, drive up there,
Yeah.
and I would say up until dinner, we're just having fun. We don't have many worries on our mind. But then we've got dinner and then some team talks
Mm-hmm.
with the coaches, and then we get serious. We start looking at our goals, what we've accomplished, what we want to do later on and at the race. And then we go up to our rooms for an hour or two, just kind of settle down, relax. And then after the race, right back to goofing off, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So, what are you looking forward to most about the off season in a few weeks here?
Some rest.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this, for me personally, is going to be a different off season because the last 2 years of high school I played soccer.
Yeah.
I played on the varsity team, and so the last few years I would finish the state meet, and 2 days later have my first soccer game, and then
Yeah.
go all the way up till track season. And so this time I'm quitting soccer and focusing on just running. So
Uh-huh.
it's a new experience for me, but I know we'll just be having some more fun on different runs.
Yeah.
We might go on a team trip towards the end of winter break to up north, maybe run in the snow, have some fun up there.
Yeah.
But looking forward to less stress, I would say,
Yeah.
because there's no races for a while, and we just get to do our normal fun runs, just have a good time.
Yeah. So, one last thing we like to ask everyone here, it's kind of our thing on running with the wolves. What does running mean to you, rather outside of the competition? Obviously, that's part of it. But outside of that, what does running mean to you?
Running means a lot. I mean, it's a big part of my life. It always has been. All of my relatives I can think of off the top of my head have run,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's a bonding experience with friends. I mean, you really get to know someone when you're spending hours upon hours and miles
Yeah.
upon miles just by their side. Um, and it's really a relaxing
Yeah.
sport because you're not allowed to stress about things when you're just running.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
doesn't. Your body doesn't let you. You have to focus on the run and what's around you and your friends. Yeah, I would say it's definitely a bonding experience because my best friends, all of them, are
Yeah.
all by my side running.
Yeah.
It's not doesn't. I mean, it does stray outside of running as well, but it's pretty consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one last thing I forgot to ask. What is it like having your dad as the coach where you're going now?
Um, I think it's amazing. I
Mm,
mean, some people say when your dad's your teacher or something, because he's also my teacher.
yeah.
They're like, oh, that would suck. I can't imagine having my dad by my side, coaching me and teaching me and being my dad at the same time. But I think it's amazing
Mm-hmm.
um, because I really know what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
And whenever he's trying to get everyone's attention and tell us what's happening, I mean, we connect, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of takes some of the stress away
Yeah.
because there are some people that have, with like other coaches, they feel like they're not being heard sometimes, or um, maybe they don't get why they're doing a workout, and I can just talk to him.
Yeah.
It's a lot closer, I would say.
Yeah. So at home, is there a lot of talk across country, or is that left for practice?
Usually at the dinner table, it's filled with cross country
Yeah.
talk, and we'll be talking about, oh, like what'd you hear, or did you see this on FL Runners,
Yeah.
or I was talking to some other coach, and he was telling me this, and so there is a lot of running talk, but at the same time, um, I think my dad just kind of sets that to the side. He's like, okay, we've had enough running for today.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on family matters.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Chase, thank you for coming on, and we would be welcoming to have you back again. Maybe come with a few teammates and have a group interview. It would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
But we look forward to seeing you race next weekend in Asheville, and hopefully in a few weeks up there in Portland.
Yeah,
So
that'd be
thank you for
awesome.
coming on.
Thank you.
All right.